Hey, it's Scotch Test Dummies. We got Corsair Wildfire.
Wearing this shirt. Just got back from Nashville. Test it! Did you want to say something else?
Let's test it.
Boom, we're in.
Speaking of wildfires, hey, our thoughts go out to everybody in California right now. There's some
wine
region.
country.
Yeah, wine country's being taken over. Hopefully everybody in that area comes out okay.
I had a friend that was there sending out stuff on Facebook before the fires hit, like here we are at this great Napa Valley or whatever. And then their last two photos they send, her and her husband are awakened at night and they're told, get out, the vineyard's on fire. And they're literally driving through what looked like Hades. It looked like hell was on fire. And she sent two photos, and I was like, my goodness. And you get to see all the beauty of the area, and then you get to see the night on fire. It was amazing. I was like, wow. And they're hearing what, like 39 people have been killed in this?
Oh, I haven't seen on that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's too bad.
That's more people than that they know have died in a hurricane in PR. All right, so I was in Nashville, went and toured.
Hold on. Scott, let's do a Scotch God
Good
shout
call,
out
good
real
call.
quick
Let's not
before
get
we
in,
get started.
hold it, back it up, back it up.
Focus.
Boop, 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 backing it up.
Roy.
Roy.
And by the way,
Says
Roy recently sent us a couple of bottles to review.
Roy recently.
Yep.
Roy, your boat.
So, but
He
he
managed
comments.
to have some bottles sent.
That's right. He managed. He arranged for us to get some bottles.
Arranged.
Yeah.
Right.
But he says on the Elijah Craig small batch video,
Snark. Here comes some snark.
Bart, how does it feel to rate this an 83?
Boom.
Yet it won your 16 bourbon shootout. LOL.
Blind.
It's amazing how blind taste tests can change your opinions on things. Elijah Craig is my favorite bourbon, but I am a Scotch drinker.
You know what? He and I are kismet on that. I'm a Scotch. I lean Scotch, but the Elijah Craig is very, very good.
What won my 16 bottle shootout?
Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark.
So let's talk about that. What's
Totally
my comment?
blind.
Give
Totally
my comment
blindsided.
first of all. My comment to him was,
Love it. This is you. Bart voice.
love it.
Love it.
Yeah, so what does it
I'm
feel
learning
like?
every day on this merry quest.
Oh, my
I still
God.
think it might have opened up a bit. We popped the top on that first review and started filming something about board games, Puerto Rico, but I must admit that I also may have had some bias based on price or luck. Blind tasting is the way to go. One reason I like these very odd quick hitters of samples that I've been doing. Bart.
That's how you think of me right there, isn't it? Ba-da-boo-da-ba. Wow. But that is the point. On our whiskey quest, our merry journey, notice how I keep switching all those. I believe that our 16 bottle blind shootout, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I learned so much about bourbon on that
I agree.
journey. All right, so much. Expectations, high, low, marketing, what I thought. We even started off with you asking me, what do you think your favorites are going to be? And I threw them out there and you had some, and our expectations were blown.
Yep.
And it literally was a paradigm shift for me in bourbon. And you can even, do you have it down there? Pull up what I recently purchased.
Oh.
Yeah, just show it real quick. Look at that.
Well, we're getting ready. We'll talk about it more.
Well,
don't
tease that. Don't
okay.
tease that. But look at that.
Boom.
Bam, big bottle. Okay, big bottle. And right over there's a giant bottle of the Elijah Craig 12 year. So, did it change me?
They call it a handle because most of them. This one doesn't have it. It's the half gallon,
Yeah.
but most of them have the glass handle built in to carry it by.
Wow.
So generally,
You just
your half
educated
gallon,
me.
your
I
1.75.
So if someone said,
I
I bought a handle of that.
Yeah.
That's what it means?
Yeah.
I was always just nodding. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
bought a handle. Yeah, I got to get me one of them. And I'm thinking, what, love handle? What is that? I already got a couple of those. All right, so the Corsair, I tour it. I had already had Triple Smoke, Rhymageddon, and I had the Oat Rage. I will tell you, the Oat Rage I have there must have been a different batch. I love the Oat Rage that they had on site over the Oat Rage I have here. And I'm going to have to delve into that a little deeper. But the Wildfire, I'd never seen here. They were very generous when I went I brought a big crowd of people and we went and toured the distillery. And out of all the samples I got after the tour, this was the one that I purchased to bring home. So, what do you get?
Okay, I know nothing about this.
It's 50% ABV.
It's got a very sweet nose. It reminds me, and a little bit of the smoke that's coming through reminds me of the Balcones, the Rumble. Was it the Rumble? Which one was it we had with the sage fire, with the sage
had
brush?
A mesquite brush or whatever.
A little bit of that on the nose.
Strong nose.
And is it a single malt?
I don't believe so. Okay, yeah, it is. It's an American malt whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, American malt whiskey, pot distilled from hickory smoked barley.
Okay.
And you can get that on that nose, that hickory.
Yeah.
And I get a cherry cola.
Cherry, I can see that. Yeah, it's a rich, darker sweetness, not necessarily like a powdered sugar or a citrus or a
get a lot of cherry rind.
Pear or an apple. It's a dark cherry, black cherries.
You're right. I would say black cherry. By the way, what glasses are we using?
Tailored Milestones.
Apostrophe D.
These were sent to us we did a giveaway.
We did.
Went very well. We don't know who the winner is yet because we're pre-filming this, but
although this is in the future, in the past we knew we won it.
In the future of the past, we had more registrants for this than we had any other contest.
That's right. We run contests as often as we can. When someone contacts us and says, "Hey, would you like to review a glass and we'll give some away to your fans?" Yes. And
well, right now anyway, we could get inundated with glass requests.
We could, but I love doing the giveaways to the fans because it allows them to kind of get something.
And I like trying different glassware too.
I do.
And that's a lot of whiskey people just like trying different glass. Don't get stuck on one type of glass. Try different ones. And this is kind of I call it a mashup of a Glencairn and a rocks glass.
I am a fan of that.
Yeah.
That's my Riedel.
But you still drink from different stuff though too.
I do. I like the standard Glencairn as
I'm
well.
going to go in for a taste.
I'm in tasting. I was talking so much, I don't know if I was focusing on the taste. Sharp,
that smoke,
rounded. Go ahead.
I didn't know you was going.
Go.
That hickory smoke is on the forefront, and a brown sugar. A maltiness. Deep, rich caramel.
Wow. You're right. The hickory hits you right off the bat. And then what I get is like a sugar water. You know, when you mix that, when you're mixing up a sugar with water. And you're right. Some of that malted grain shines through. Go ahead.
Dustiness. Like that barn floor. The citrus, the sweetness is lighter on the palate than I didn't detect it on the nose. Like I was talking about, there was a darker sweetness. There is almost a powdered sugar and a lighter citrus sweetness that comes through on the palate. One thing we didn't say, 50%.
I shut it.
Okay, good. The smoke, even though it was on the forefront, it's not strong. It's not overpowering. There's just a hint of it, but you get it first. It's on the finish.
See, I don't have as much on the finish. I definitely get it very first thing, and you're right. Then I like how it fades away and disappears. At least for me. This is batch 7, by the way.
Dark cherries on the finish.
Yeah, the kind of the cherry rind.
The skin.
Yeah, the skin. The cherry skin on the finish.
It doesn't feel 50%.
It's a little smoother than that.
Yeah.
And this
I would almost guess
me.
43 to 45% on it.
Run your tongue along the front of your teeth. I pick up the sweetness there.
Oh yeah.
And the cherry. Well after it's gone, that's where it lingers on the palate. And that's why this impressed me so much. The only other thing that really surprised me when I was there was their oat rage, which they use oats as one of their main grains, or the main grain. It gave me a real coffee finish. And when I got here, what was it? Yeah, I think it was a coffee finish, and here I get more of a chocolate, I've got them reversed. I can't remember on the oat rage. The oat rage is there. I don't know what batch it is, but I found it more flavorful than my batch.
There's some chocolate in here.
Sorry, not necessarily this one.
Yeah.
I was talking the oat, but yeah.
I thought you were saying you couldn't remember which one had the chocolate in it. There's some chocolate in this one.
They are really doing some magical stuff. I mean, Corsair is my favorite craft distiller in the States, and they really do meet the bill.
Now, this is new. I haven't sampled this.
No, you haven't. This bottle, 377 out of 1405. Corsair Artisan, 750 milliliter. The sweet cherryness just really, really brings this home for me. You know what? I'm going to say it's so nice and different for me. I'm going to give it a 90. I really like this. I had some the other night. I let it sit for a while since I've been back, and I poured some. And it makes me want to just go back and pour a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more.
Brimstone was the Balcones. Did we say that?
You didn't. It just came to you. Brimstone.
I give it an 89. It's pretty good. I mean, it's good. I could see maybe some people not liking the hickory smoke. It's similar to the Balcones. Brimstone. I mean, just the flavor, it's similar to it. It's not the same.
See, the Brimstone, I got the heavy mesquite wood all the way through. Whereas this, it's that forefront of the hickory, and then it drops away.
Yeah, the Brimstone was definitely a lot stronger.
I mean, the Brimstone felt like I was at a mesquite fire in Texas, which is fine.
I think if you bought this one, you're either going to love it or you're not going to care for it.
All right.
Not that it's bad, but I think
try to get a tasting, because that was really, I was like, hey, what's that Wildfire? And she told me, she poured me a little ounce, and I drank it, and I was like, woo. I was like, pull a new bottle off the shelf. I'm taking that one with me. And she was like, done. And I almost did the oat rage, but I was thinking, you know what? This tastes different from my oat rage. But maybe my oat rage has opened up a little bit at home, and I wish I would have bought the oat rage as well. I was a little limited on my shipping weight, because the oat rage, whatever batch they had there, I found a little bit more flavorful oat rage wise. So I like this one here, but not as much as that.
Before we get done, I have to give you some crap as well. We started doing the quick hitters, right?
Love them. Uncut, a quick hitter is basically
samples.
Come in. Yeah, it's supposed to be quick and dirty.
We've got a lot of samples and stuff sitting around.
And we do them a little different.
What do we do with them?
You're kind of taking notes and really giving a good, brief, concise. I'm doing them blind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're quick.
Or we talked about, you may see some like re-reviews. Like I talked about maybe just me retouching on Maker's Mark, since I finished, first in my 16 bottle bourbon shootout.
What's cool is usually we're alone when we do them.
Yeah.
But we did shoot a couple recently.
We did it
together.
I was here, and so we shot one real quick. Mm-hmm. And in the filming, now Bart, because what brought this up, Bart goes, yeah, the quick hitters are unedited. We just shoot them and post them.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Unless you say, let's pause for a second. You should then edit out whatever follows.
I would agree.
That pause. Let's pause for a second.
I would agree.
Uh-huh. The one we just did with J&B Rare Scotch.
I just put that out like 3 days ago.
Yeah, right at the start. You go, let's pause for a second. And you get off camera and leave and come over here to get some stuff. And I'm sitting there. I don't pick my nose, but I'm like, okay, well, he's pausing.
Really?
I do something.
Did you release gas? Did you fart?
Nah, and I'm thinking, it takes a few seconds. Blah, I'm looking around. Then you come back and you didn't cut it out.
You're right, because I remember
when you say let's pause for a second, you should.
I'm apologizing.
Cut that
I
out.
would agree, because what I remember editing that, thinking I didn't remember our specifics, so I didn't watch through to look to edit, because generally I won't edit those. It's just whatever is. Mm-hmm. But you're right. So if we're ever shooting a quick hitter again and I go pause for a second, you need to immediately bust my chops and be like, no, because you're going to forget to edit it. I will tell you, let me give you a side story. I was doing a board game shoot once, and I know you don't like that. But I'm doing a board game deal where I'm trying to teach the game in a close-up, and I kept blowing like the way I phrased a rule, and I let some expletives fly. I mean, I let out like a mother flinger, flam, floom, floom, flam, nugget, and I let it go, dude. It was late. I was trying to get this thing filmed. I kept blowing the take.
And you left it in.
And I forgot. And I was like moving through, and I put it up, and comments started to fly in. One guy was like, dang, I was listening to this at work, and all of a sudden it wasn't safe for work. I'm like, what? What's he talking about? Yeah, and then someone else goes, laugh out loud. You really got mad and let it fly. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I listened to it, and I was like, oh my God, it was like very R-rated. Huh. And I was like, I had to stop it, delete it, went in and clipped it, reposted it. There was already like 800 views. It was very embarrassing. So I've done that to myself. I apologize that I've done it to you. I'd forgotten.
Traveling Dummies. Oh, wait, you got it on your phone?
Woo, Traveling Dummies. I do.
This one is courtesy of the Whiskey Rev.
I apologize. Whiskey Rev. Ball Blair. I apologize for telling you I was pausing and you picking.
I'm just glad I did.
Kaboom! Yeah, I'm glad you didn't like let one rip. So there it is. We got a double coin, which is nice. You know what he's showing there? The photo's still up. He's showing that he has both the cask 1 and the cask 2. Mm-hmm. Because they both have the black side in common, but the cask 1 has a red on the flip side, and cask 2 has the white.
Whiskey Rev and Aqua Vitae are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're whiskey buddies.
Mm.
So yes. A couple of reviews ago, we did a live stream with Malted Man Cave, and we looked at the Ball Blair 1999. That was on a Sunday night.
Yep.
The next day, on Monday, the Whiskey Rev went to the Ball Blair Distillery and took that picture.
Love it. I like how he splayed the coins out almost like you would if you were holding up cards and you were playing poker. Not that he plays poker. But that's what it looked like. And I love it. Great shot at the Ball Blair. Don't you wish we could just be like, hey, Scott, let's take a 1-hour drive over to the Ball Blair.
Yeah. It's probably not even that long. It's
like a 45-minute.
2 miles.
Yeah, let's hop on the bicycle and ride tandem.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Can you see you and I doing a tandem ride to Ball Blair? No. We got a little bell. Ding, ding. They're like, the Dummies are here. The Dummies.
All the way up the drive.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. They're like, Dummies. Little dog runs out. Sorry. I just went to fantasy land there. That's the kind of fantasies I have, is showing up to a distillery on a tandem bicycle with a bell.
Patreon shoutouts.
What do we got?
$2. We're almost caught up.
Woo!
Thank you.
Damn.
We appreciate our Patreon supporters.
Very patient. Very patient.
Yes.
We got so many that loaded up, and we got behind. And we apologize.
You know who's a $2 supporter?
Is it Richard Baker?
Richard Baker!
Richard Baker! The Baker of Richard!
Baker. He is a $2 supporter. Super Scotch God.
Woo!
And
wow.
Mike Hurd.
Oh, the Herd.
We talked about him in the last couple episodes.
Lock guy.
Lock guy, 26.
I like say it fast. You kind of blend it in like, lock guy. Like that.
$2 supporter. Mike Hurd.
Mike Hurd.
Thank you.
Herd it in, Mike. Herd it in.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. He sent a care package as well, which we talked about in a couple of episodes.
We had shirts. You got to wear your shirts.
So Richard Baker and Mike Hurd both.
So again, if you donate $2 to Scotch Test Dummies, that can be $2 a show. Really helps us out. We will shout your name with enthusiasm and make some stuff up. If you do $3, you can add in a photo as long as you're clothed, and we'll mock you. We'll tease you. Later on a future episode, we've got some photos that came in. We're going to be showing. Let's just say Dark Knight.
What's our price point?
Oh. Dang it, I should have wrote it on there. I want to say $60. I'm probably way off. It was about $54 if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It's very flavorful. I love what they're doing. Moss. More. I want more. They had a couple other things I would have loved to
Uno
brought
Mas,
home.
Dos Mas.
Quince
What is it?
Mas. Quince.
No say Mas.
Quince Mas means 11. All right. So what else? You want to say anything else?
Let's
Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
cilantro.
Dummies.
Dummies.